What's up YouTube, the Adequate Gamer here, and welcome to Knock 'em Down Bowling, an eShop game for the Nintendo Switch, and we're going to find out if this is our answer to Wii Sports Bowling on the Nintendo Switch. One of the things that I did notice with the Switch, with the inclusion of the Joy-Cons at the very beginning, I was excited that they were going to kind of bring back motion controls because they kind of went absent from the Wii U. Not totally, but for the most part, first party kind of went absent from the Wii U, because they were focusing more on the tablet-style controllers. So with the inclusion of the Joy-Cons, I was a little excited that we were going to get back to some decent motion control games for the casual gamers. Now, unfortunately, the Nintendo Switch is now almost 2 years into its life cycle, and motion controls, again, have kind of taken a bit of a back seat. But there are still people that do enjoy them, like myself, and we've been waiting on some sort of Wii Sports equivalent, especially for the bowling aspect. I loved bowling on Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. So we kind of were hoping for a solution on the Nintendo Switch, and while Nintendo hasn't really come up to the plate with something, a third-party company has. D3 Designs has kind of made this bowling, Wii Sports Bowling-esque type of game, and we're going to see if this is going to scratch that Wii Sports itch. So let's have a look at this game, and let's jump right in. And the first thing I want to tell you is, you can tell by looking at this game, for the most part, they were doing whatever they could to make this as close to Wii Sports Bowling as they could. There are a lot of similarities that you're going to see. But however, one of them that we're going to get to is the controls. Now, when you're lining up your shots for bowling, as you can see, it's not the greatest looking game, but I mean, it's bowling and it's an eShop game, so we're not expecting a AAA title here. But when you're lining up your shot, it's got the same controls as Wii Sports Bowling does. You can move left and right, and you can also hit one of the buttons to kind of go into changing your angle, if you will. However, I noticed with changing your angle, it's very, very jerky when using the analog stick to move left and right. It would have been nice if you could use motion controls to do that as well, but they didn't have that in Wii Sports, so that's probably why they didn't do it here. Now, the resemblance to kind of looking like Wii Sports and lining up your shot is where the familiarity of it ends. Unfortunately, they kind of made wonky controls for actually bowling. It's pretty close and it's playable, but once you start playing this game, you're going to realize it's not quite Wii Sports Bowling. At least they didn't quite get it right, especially with the control scheme. What you have to do is you use the right trigger, or I should say you use the trigger, because when you are the first player, you're automatically defaulted to using the left Joy-Con. So when you throw the left Joy-Con into your right hand, you're going to find right away it feels a little uncomfortable. Even when you have the, whatever you call it, the little attachment that you put on it, you're going to find that it doesn't quite line up quite right. In fact, the fact that you have to use the trigger makes using the little attachment more difficult to play with, because you can't quite reach the trigger as well. So the first thing I did was rip that thing off. So I've got my left Joy-Con in my right hand, and let's bowl. Well, the first thing you're going to find is the right trigger doesn't work exactly as the B button on the Wii remote. You don't just swing it and let go of the trigger when you want to throw the ball. For whatever reason, they decided that you would have to use a button press to let go of the ball. So you actually press and hold that trigger button the whole time. Pressing and holding the trigger button will put you into bowling mode, but you can't actually let go of the ball unless you press another button instead of just releasing the trigger, which would have made a lot more sense and a lot more similar to Wii Sports Bowling. Instead, they decided that you have to press a button. Now, they give you the option of pressing one or two buttons. At least they kind of give you that wherever your thumb is closest to for the most comfortable experience. But once you start bowling this way, you're going to find that it is a little intrusive to hit that button, or at least to remember to hit that button. But once you start bowling, you're going to find that the motion controls of it work very, very well. It's very sensitive for detecting whether or not your wrist is moving left or right, and that will reflect on how you bowl. However, you're going to find if you played a lot of Wii Sports Bowling, this is not quite Wii Sports Bowling. It's pretty good. If you can get the controls down by pressing that button, it's not bad. That's what I want to take from this, is it's almost good enough, but not quite. Remember Brawlout for the Nintendo Switch? It was kind of like that Super Smash Brothers ripoff or clone, whatever you will, and everyone said it's not bad, it's almost as good, but once Smash Brothers came out, everyone pretty much forgot about that game. And I think this is going to be our temporary Wii Sports Bowling solution on the Nintendo Switch until Nintendo comes up to bat or comes out to play with some sort of Switch Sports Resort type of game. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm The Adequate Gamer. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up because it really does help. Subscribe if you haven't done already, and we will see you on YouTube. Cheers.